All right, it's the rundown. It's Tuesday. It's October 23rd, brought to you by Movement Watches. Rig, show them. Hit them with the
Movement watch.
Blue and brown.
Disrupting the industry.
Love it. Disruptors. 15% off, free shipping and returns. Movement watches start just $95. At department store, you're looking at an easy $400 to $500. Now is the time to step up your watch game. Join the movement today. Movement watches. Again, 15% off. The URL, mvmt.com/watches. All our Rebellion shirts. I said I'd much prefer the Pirate Dog because of the history and the backstory of it all. It's appeared in videos throughout.
It's your sketch, so you have every right to love it. I want to wear this one instead. I don't want to wear the Pirate Dog.
But I've officially said in the videos it's like the sign of rebellion. Like, I've drawn the poster at, like, Occupy Boston. And they're like, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's the sign of rebellion.
Well, I like this because we're hitting them over the head.
When we went
this
to
one, there's no confusion.
There's lines in the fucking sand. Which side
well, this
is
is subtle. This is like, what is that? It's like, oh, it's a movement. It's I brought it to the rally against. I mean, it has some history. When I signed a girl's boob with like lipstick.
You drew the dog?
Yeah, I drew the pirate dog.
That's the Happy Gilmore.
It's a great move.
Yeah.
Where he signs the titties.
Yeah, I ran out of lipstick though. She didn't get the full thing. Whatever. Big news, obviously, Barstool Van Talk, and we've beaten this sort of death at this point. Canceled after one episode. I haven't asked this. Is that the only show that ever was one episode? I mean, what type of lunatic show would only get one episode? It's very us. Nate at night.
Nate at
night also.
True.
Nate at night. And Barstool Van Talk.
And that's why. Did you see PFT's tweet? If you had two shows, you don't have any.
Yeah.
Like the classical. You have two quarterbacks, you have none.
Yeah.
I mean, making light of the situation. Very funny. Very.
And it
very
sucks for them. And it sucks. And the Hurricane Dave has not come out totally. I mean, we'll get to it
Are we doing
next.
hurricanes or tornadoes?
No, tornadoes. It's a Twitter war right now, currently, as we're filming this.
It is chaos right now. Let's get to it.
I just want to make clear, I get why ESPN did it. They had a revolt within the company. The two people that we know were heavily involved in the revolt, obviously Sam Ponder, who grudged the shit out of me personally. And I do respect any grudge, 3 years, totally disingenuous on why she did it. It was a revenge move, and it worked. And they threatened her to walk out. John Skipper, he looked like an idiot. I think
full-blown fucking idiot.
I think he'd say he looked like an idiot.
That is the single dumbest statement that's ever been released ever.
What?
We thought we could
Barstool Van Talk,
we thought we could
but we're
separate
not related to Barstool.
from the Barstool
with
show.
logos coming out of his eyeballs.
Crazy stupid. Crazy
But
stupid.
I don't know. I mean, there's rumors in the streets. Some of the women were threatening to walk out. It was a bad scene for John Skipper. The only thing I'll say is he 1,000% knew the complaints before the complaints were issued. He said, we need Barstool, we need Dan, we need PFT, we need the demo, we're going to move forward. Nobody anticipated that Ponder was going to basically drop that tweet, which ended up being like a nuclear bomb on everybody's head, and that's sped the whole thing.
The craziest part is the biggest mistake that's going to be remembered out of all this is canceling it. Because you had already gone that far. You had already taken the bullshit. You had already stood up to all the Ponder complaints for a week and let the first episode go on. At that point, you've sort of weathered it. Just fucking let's go.
Unless there was like, we're going to quit. If you're going to have like whole scale, like females walking out.
Which we're guessing.
The PR is just
and there's whispers on it, but why else would you cancel it?
It's just, again, I think you just got to do that. Just do it fucking right out of the gate or do it beforehand. I don't know how you go one episode, bail it.
Right, well, that's what happened. And behind the scenes of which not everybody knew, right up to that first episode, it was on, it was off, it was on, it was off. Once they said go, though, I think you go. You keep
the
going.
floodgates are open. That's what I think. I think you got to weather it at that point. I think he looks unbelievably dumb now.
They're stuck in no man's land. They're not going to get the audience they thought they had. I'm sure competitors are swirling around trying to pick up that show, and they've set a precedent that their employees can like bully them around.
Yeah, they gave us like this free pilot that we have out there that was on ESPN. We've got
and
like
we
numbers.
look fucking awesome.
Well, I don't know. We look awesome.
I think we look awesome.
I'll say this. You can make the argument we came out okay. It strengthens maybe the core. That I actually thought this. I was going to blog. I've been running around. Like, if you told me this entire situation went down how it did, would I do it again? I think I'd lean towards yes. I think obviously it sucks that the shows, but like what I want out of ESPN is people who weren't familiar with us to see those guys be like, wow, they're funny. What's Barstool? They go to Barstool and they're like, this is a funny site. I want to be a fan. I wanted eyeballs. it's a little different how it happened. The narrative that there's this and a lot. I'd say most of the negative stuff is directed at like me personally. That seems to be it. But it's the narrative that, hey, there's these crazy un-PC guys running around the internet trying to be funny. That's kind of not the worst
but
message.
listen, I mean, if we're talking about that message, that's fine. I don't think I would go down this road again and cancel their show.
No, I'm
Like,
saying
I want
you can't
those guys to succeed.
No,
Okay.
clearly. But
Right.
that's not the choice.
Right, okay. I see
I'm
what you mean.
saying-
I just want to
Like,
make sure
don't
you
even enter
clarified that, 'cause-
negotiations about a show
I'm saying
or have it go down.
You have a crystal ball. You go back in time. There's nothing you can do to change the outcome of what happens to their show. It's canceled, no matter what. Do you go down this exact road? All the publicity, all the negative publicity, everything. Do you do it again? Knowing that the show gets canceled.
Oh
after
yes,
a
I
while.
think like publicity-wise, it's no brainer. I think the biggest thing that really sucks, and that a lot of people, including me, don't even fully know, is how much work Erica did, or you did, and Dan and PFT and Hank, and how much getting the show greenlit, putting all that work in.
I would say Erica did a ton of work. I would say, based on how much Dan, PFT, and Hank have been around, I would say that is endless work and something that has to be
And that's what
wildly
sucks,
infuriating.
because we're a fun company. We like to make light of it. They've done an unbelievable job making light of it. That kind of gets lost in the fact that now it's all publicity. Everyone's fucking punching each other in the mud on the internet. That sucks for those guys, and all of that work is what sucks.
And we all create content here, but to create content and think in like, oh, I have something awesome, it's gonna be funny, and this is the first time like we don't control it, and it's not like we can take it and put it in ours and just have the plug pulled. That sucks.
Right.
That sucks. So there's different. Obviously, it's horrible. It's terrible for those guys.
Right.
It's terrible. But I mean, and now we're just making the best of a situation that is spiraling out of control on the internet. And start with Jenn Sterger.
I've been waiting for this day. I've been waiting for this day for like 10 years.
I saw Sterger tweet this yesterday, and she had a long, detailed account of being sexually harassed when applying for a job at ESPN. In the title of her blog, she said, like, something to the effect, let me get this straight. Let me set this straight. I hate Barstool Sports, but ESPN is hypocrites. And then she went through this thing. I was going to reply to it, just be like, because I've said this a million times, and I read K. Marco's blog where he's like, I wish Dave would shout this every time he talks. Barstool Sports, since I've started, we have dealt with women either as employees, now our boss, promo models, dancers at parties,
Smoke shows.
customers at our own events, smoke shows, you name it, we've dealt with them. I am 100% confident there's no complaints. We treat them with respect. We treat them the same we treat everybody else. I go over the top to make sure it's a comfortable environment. The parties themselves probably being the most obvious example. So, like, the ESPN thing's horrific. We don't do that. And we've seen examples of it. There's nothing remotely similar to what, like Francis, when the SI girls came in. But there was nothing. I don't want to compare it. But even the slightest, like, we don't do that here.
Right.
Like, we do not do that. That's not how we operate. That's never going to be how we operate. So to be lumped in with that is crazy. So Sterger actually backtracked. She's like, I worded it wrong. I didn't mean that. I shouldn't have compared at all. So fine with that. Now it's getting muddy to the point I had to tweet out a GIF of a guy just going straight down into the mud.
It's getting dirty.
It's like a fight video where the guy goes and he's like, Joey, and turns around and grabs a guy and it's his buddy, and his buddy knocks him out.
Yeah,
It's like you
it's
don't know
everyone.
everyone.
People just getting hit. So
The best comparison Gaz said was floating around Twitter is like it's the end of The Departed, where everybody's just shooting everybody.
So, and it's what always drives me crazy, and it's the Sarah Spains, and I'm not even going to say Potter. I know Spain more. It's the hypocrisy of what they say, their actions, and now we have two examples quickly of pretty girls being basically, I guess, slut-shamed by Sarah Spain.
By the Mean Girls.
Like,
it's
aggressively.
classic Mean Girls shit.
Victim shaming, slut shaming, and again, Sarah Spain, a girl, I don't care. Sarah Spain broke into the media industry by auctioning herself off in like a bikini, boobs up, sex picture for Super Bowl tickets. I've heard her say it was impossible for somebody like her to break into the media because of sexism. She had to do that, and now she's out to like expose sexism. You can't have it both ways. You can't do that and then shame women, Paige Sporanic, when Paige Spranger's on the cover of a golf magazine and you're like, you don't deserve it, you're just using your sex to get ahead, which you did, Sarah Spain. So you can't go after her for doing that. And the stuff she said to Jenn Sterger was vicious, basically questioning, denying everything she said about the Brett Favre sexual harassment, all of it. And so it wasn't just that Jenn Sterger was calling out the hypocrisy of ESPN. She was specifically citing examples of both Sam Ponder and Sarah Spain doing what they are so high and mighty about. And by the way, I'm not going to compare it because our actions are 100% like something I'm proud of. Yeah, we talk, we do this, we make jokes. We don't do what they're doing. We do not do what they're doing. So just the hypocrisy of it all, everybody's in the mud. It's almost embarrassing, but it's just
it's great.
It's the mud.
It's great.
We're in the mud.
But here's the thing: we were born in the mud. We are the mud.
You
can't out mud us.
I live in the mud.
We've been in the mud, Dave. You've been in the mud for 15 years. I've been in the mud for a decade.
Look how comfortable we look right now.
And now we're gonna Barstool's gonna inherit the earth because everyone else is gonna have to come to the mud, and we're fucking experts in the mud. You can't out mud us. We're as dirty as it gets.
When I'm in the air, sometimes I have to go down into the mud.
Give me
to
some
breathe,
mud.
And then I come back up.
It's like being a fish.
We have mud gills. Mud gills.
I mean, this is it. We got mud gills. We are better equipped to live in this world than anyone else. And it's now that everybody's realizing that everybody else has skeletons, we're not going to look so bad. They're not going to look so good. It's going to be an even playing field, and we're going to dominate. But we're going to inherit the earth.
In the end, the people who don't like us, doesn't matter what they said, what we say, what they do, what we do, they're always going to hate us. That's just the way.
But I do think that there's going to be. We have the people who love us, and the people who hate us. I think there's going to be a middle ground that's going to start to lean a little bit more towards our side. Like in the past couple years, maybe they would have thought we were trash, and then when you realize that everybody's trash, we're so funny.
You know what? You know what is good? Like in both Ponder, in her biblical verses, she apologized, and Sarah Spain, both the same. Sarah Spain today tweeted, "I can't remember the bad things I've said. I can't be held responsible for them. I've changed."
Get the fuck out of here.
What, she got a new fucking religion? Like, what is that?
The beauty of basically being consistent over the course of 15 years, like, yeah, you're going to find some stuff that's like, I wish I didn't phrase it that way. I wish I didn't say that. I put my head on the pillow, and it's like, I know what I said 15 years ago is pretty much going to be consistent with my worldviews today. I'm not going to do this 180 where suddenly I can slut shame and I can use my sex to get ahead, and then 10 seconds later, if you do what I did, I'm going to crucify you. I don't do that. I don't think anyone here really does that. So it's a nice thing to be able to sleep. Be like, you know what? I got nothing to hide. Dig up the tweet. Some of it
Clean
bad.
conscience.
Yeah.
Clean conscience.
Like, I know what I said before I said it. Like
50,000 blogs later, 100,000 blogs later, stand by all of it.
And just right before we went on the show, Sarah Spain, her response to Jenn Sterger was like, hey, that doesn't sound like me. It doesn't sound like something I'd say. I doubt I said that. But if I did, I'd probably change. But I didn't say it. Within 3 seconds of story,
Direct quote.
The quote. Direct quote. Like
the direct quote that was basically like just completely undermining her whole Brett Favre saga. It was like, I don't think it really went down that way. Like, look at her.
Look at
based
him.
off of
there's
nothing.
no way
nothing.
that he just sent her his dick like unprovoked. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
It was like,
What?
It was
Because
like-
she's hot?
yeah.
It was like the
Crazy.
Trump, like, there's two sides. It was like, well, there's like two sides to every sexual harassment thing. It's like, no, there's not. Like,
Yeah.
And like between
that's wrong.
Ponder's original tweet about the Ray Rice situation and those comments about like a victim of sexual harassment, those are two of the worst comments ever.
Ever.
Way worse. It's crazy. Way worse.
Adam C. Best herself.
That's like what it is, Gladiator. We are in the mud. Wow. It feels good.
It feels
The mud.
so good.
It does. And it stinks because there is the thing. It's like we're in this, we're glowing, but I don't want to misconstrue. Like, it sucks the show's gone. Like, this is I guess making the best out of a terrible situation.
It is,
but
man. I mean, it's some of the drawbacks. It's like Barstool has gotten us to like very high level because of a lot of this shit, and there's some drawbacks. But when these things happen,
It's even the ESPN, like, they reached out, and when Ponder was just attacking us, and we responded, they're like, oh, you can't respond. That's why, like, she made fun of, like, Zimbabwe men at one point, and Wouldn't you know it? We have a Zimbabwe midget here. So
Wouldn't
he's
you know
like,
it?
That's very.
That's fate. That was a
like-
good hire. Good hire, Dave.
So it's like, Za, we got to respond. Za's like, as a Zimbabwe man, I take offense to you saying only Zimbabwe men like fat women. It was like the perfect, and we had to stop, but it's just like, they have no control. Right now,
It's anarchy.
again, not to like, it sucks. John Skipper, he tried to like get a good show. He tried to do what he knew would be good ratings. He got a revolt inside. Now you want to talk about being in the mud, except he doesn't have the gills.
He can't breathe. Can't breathe.
No, not even close.
He's drowning in the mud.
What a week, what a 2 weeks this has been. It's something else every
Every
day.
day. Every day.
Every day.
You think it's ever going to stop? I think it might be every day. Like,
I don't know.
Do
we want it to stop?
I don't know.
What were the chances yesterday you would have said that Jenn Sterger would come back from the dead and blow up the whole internet?
It's weird.
If that can happen, anything can happen.
I saw the tweets. It's just I couldn't respond in the characters. Like, I got to write about this because it did bother me. The original one's like, do not lump us in with that type of behavior.
Poorly worded. Jen, work on your phrase.
She's like deep in Robbie Fox's DMs now. It's a wild day.
It is the circle of life. Like,
you know
I
what?
think I
It's actually-
discovered Jenn Sterger.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's actually
like I honestly
poetic.
think I did.
That girl. Remember when Brett Musburger said in like
Cowgirl.
a million,
Yeah.
a million red-blooded
Yeah,
American
Just signed
men
up
just
for-
signed up
yeah,
for
by the
this,
way-
yeah. And now she's the one blowing the internet up. It's
And Brent Musburger tweeted like "Viva." He's like, "You guys drive the van out."
telling you, man.
It
Full
is-
fucking serious.
we've lost the world is like just rolling down the street like tumbleweed.
A guy tweeted at me, he's like, Riggs, can you please make a Venn diagram of like where everybody's at right now? Because I have no idea.
It is. Everyone's there's just bullets flying in the internet streets. What a world. And by the way, shout out to Fran's mom.
oh my God.
The hero
Yes.
of the internet.
That woman, when she said it all so eloquently and so polite, like a mom would, but had our backs. It was amazing.
Big time.
Someone showed me that. It's like Fran's mom's. When Fran's mom is in the mix, things are getting
She's got mud
wild.
gills. Fran's mom has mud gills. She's down here with us breathing in the mud. I
We
love
might
it.
be bringing the mud up to everyone else at this point.
Sorry, Fran.
JFK.
I mean, we shouldn't even do any more topics. to be
Yeah, I
honest.
mean,
Well, let's just say this. We can end with this. And Smashmouth, if we're going. Shout out Smashmouth, because I love people like that.
They're in the mud.
They're in the mud, and they chirped Cabris real quick, like, gee, that was fast. So, A+ tweet from Smashmouth. I hate how O'Grady doesn't tweet me. I hate how Simmons doesn't tweet me. I've said it before. I take so many shots. Be a man. When we take a punch, I want to get hit. Like, that's what we do. So shame on all the people who I have all these grudges not taking this opportunity to take a shot at me. JFK, this is the last one. I can't wait to see these JFK files. I don't know why people are mad about this. Why would he? How can he be mad about the JFK files being released?
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing. People are
Yeah.
I mean, it's aliens and JFK.
Yep.
Those are the two things.
Totally.
Everyone,
And this
oh,
is-
but I will say this: if it's like if they're just shitty files, I guess there's a reason
Well, then
why
why
they've been
wouldn't you release them?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I'm hoping that we see, who the shooter was and where the shooter was. If it's just like some bullshit, like technicality, that's going to be a letdown.
You got to think it'll still be pretty ambiguous, but
Such a Trump move, though. It's
it's great.
He's the guy released.
of course he is. He's right. He's the Michael
Well, he's
Scott.
the
of,
hero.
like, once he's got it,
Yeah.
it's coming out. Like, he can't not let it out.
Oh, and Jared has a desk. Everything is clicking right now.
Look at
for the
that.
time being. Till
That's
the
a
next
W.
major setback.
And next major setback tomorrow probably.
What a day. It's been a wild 24 hours.
But shout out to Heneasy and Dan and PFT because,
And
that
who
was
knows?
their dream, and it
That
all,
may not be the end of BVT. And let me say this, and of people I know, they're going to be like, oh, well, if you, Dave, versus this. For Barstool, and I was asked this question at the Michigan Business Conference, like, what is your regrets with Barstool? Like, and I sat and I thought, it's like, I feel like we're a needle in the haystack company. Like, everything just has seemed to work out our way, and it's allowed us to get where places I never dreamed in a million years we'd be. Maybe in the end, this works out for them. Maybe that show and us ends up somewhere else, better, bigger. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe there will be a silver lining in this cloud. You never
agree
know.
with that.
Silver lining in the mud.
I mean, we're less than 24 hours removed. So who knows what the future will be?
Yeah, I will say
a lot
nobody
of
will
money.
look back and be like, wow, too bad that happened. That really derailed them. No.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to stop their
it's
career.
like what Kevin said. I always was uneasy about the ESPN relationship for a variety of reasons. I think they were using us. We were using them. It was a great way to expose the brand. Those guys wanted the show, and I think they would have been great at it. The people who got the rawest end of this stick is them,
Right.
because to no doing really of their own, they got the show pulled from under their rugs. So, does that under their rugs?
No, that was
show
right.
pulled under their rugs? No.
The rug gets pulled out from under them, but if the show is under
The rug got pulled from under them.
Was the show
rug
attached
got-
to the rug?
The rug
show
got
is the
pulled
rug.
from
They were
under
in
them.
the show on the rug.
rug got pulled from under them.
right.
And the show's the rug.
They're standing on the rug that is the show, and then they
Okay.
pull it.
Gotcha.
Buy this shirt, by the way. This shirt's a money shirt. Both shirts.